prison? How many of us transformed in prison? How many of us went to school while in prison? How many of us got our education while in prison? We deserve every right, like every other individual, to be out here to have a second chance, and sometimes I say a third chance. Help me scream. Community, not cages. Community, not cages. Over 150 organizations support this effort from across New York State and nationally. This summer, these bills has received the endorsement of the American Bar Association and Community People Not Cages. Let's go, y'all. Let's do this. Thank you, Robin.
Thank you, Assemblymember Gibbs, for giving me a break, calling on the roster. I appreciate your help. Thank you very much. This is very personal to me, very personal. I too am a person that sat in one of those cages. The worst thing you can take from a person is hope. When the 1994 crime bill came through and George Pataki swept and cleaned out everything that gave us hope, what do we have left? We had despair. Violence erupted. Drug use increased. Our focus was no longer on getting out, staying out, and becoming a better person. Our focus was survival. Every day survival. I remember distinctly when they eliminated the college programs. And the CEOs were sitting around grinning, now you bastards gotta pay like we do. And I remember, it's very personal to me, and I want to bring up our next speaker, who is very personal to him, who walked those walks, who suffered those times, and who has a first-hand account to tell us about the harms and the dangers and where we go from here. Ladies and gentlemen, Richard Jackson.
My cousin, y'all. Resurrection, y'all. I say resurrection because we got to rise up. I'd like to thank the Center for Community Alternatives for giving me this opportunity to talk and really share my thoughts and experiences of the 1994 crime bill. I'm a little soft-spoken, a little nervous, so just follow with me and we're going to get this done. But I want to start off with giving a sincere apology for all of us formerly incarcerated prisoners that committed crimes, that robbed, stole, killed, raped, and did a lot of horrible things to our community. I want to put forth that sincere apology because during our incarceration, we know that we are part of our community. The prison is an extension of that community. And we give a sincere apology to our communities for the damage and harm that we did. We got to start off with Attica Uprising. Because y'all not really understanding Attica Uprising. It's not a riot. It wasn't a disruption. That was an uprising of socially conscious political prisoners that said no more. Y'all gonna treat us like fucking human beings. Or we gonna tear this jail down. And that's what they did. And out of Attica Uprising, you know what came? We got ILC, IGRC, college programs. We got family reunion programs. We got things that helped us come back to our communities and be successful. It kind of acclimated us in the right way. Instead of tapping 2 times and saying that means war. Tapping 1 time and that's it. 99% white police. This was the environments that these brothers lived in. 5 o'clock, lights out. We couldn't even read certain books, psychology books, black history books, black liberation books. We couldn't read none of that stuff. This 1994 crime bill is an extension of that. This is an intentional bill to impede us from coming home and being a part of our community, from making a change. They said, we're not letting another Malcolm X lead this prison system, period. And that's what this 1994 crime bill was about. I had 8 years in. I'm like Mr. Delancey. I was 17 when I went to prison. They made me do 26 years. It wasn't no second look. It wasn't no merit time. It was cages, not community.
That's right.
And that's what they're doing now. And let's look at the statistics. When the Attica uprising happened, it was 12 jails in New York State.
Yeah.
By 1994, it was 72.
Wow.
It was 12,000 people in prison in 1971.
Wow.
By 1994, it was 62,000.
Wow. Hey, right.
It was 60. Do you understand what's going on? Mass incarceration is a white supremacist capitalist motive.
Yeah.
Period.
That's right.
They want to keep black and browns down and keep their economic system going. That's why it's upstate.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
It's feeding white communities.
Yeah.
It's feeding their babies while babies die in prison. Why we gotta go to prison at 17 and come home in our 40s, 50s? What can we do? Like, seriously? We need a second look.
Yeah. Yeah.
I got a GED, college, all of that in the first 10. Can I come home and make a difference? No. You stay your ass in jail and you give us 26 and we hope you die there. That's the mentality. And I got nothing against politicians and we need their help. However, we could do it our fucking selves. Excuse me.
We can do it
We could do it ourselves. We got over 100,000 formerly incarcerated prisoners in New York State with the right to vote. So why we gotta go speak to somebody? We gotta mobilize our vote. We gotta say, yo, we voting, we getting buses, just like we go to the club and do all that shit. Get some Ubers, let's go vote. And if these politicians ain't doing what we saying, get them out. Don't let them come and give us lip service once in a while. Fuck that. We done heard it for over 20, 30 years. And I gotta invoke the spirit of Eddie Ellis.
Yeah.
Because I gotta invoke the ancestral spirit of Eddie Ellis. Because he taught me. I was a little kid with a razor in my mouth.
Yeah.
Our motto was paint the windows black, break the TVs, and pull out the phones. I got to the sunburn out, whatever. That was our mentality. We don't give about nothing. You, her, we doing what we do. But Eddie Ellis taught me the non-traditional approach to criminal and social justice.
All right.
That showed me that I wasn't alone, that I was trapped. Like, it's systematically designed for us to go to jail.
Yeah, that's right.
And it's not to take away, it's not to justify us doing crime. But when you put certain crime-generating factors in our community, from racism, unemployment, family breakdown, homelessness, drugs, crime, when you influx a community with that, you're going to send some people to jail.
No doubt.
And that's what they did from the crack era to now. They got our communities filled with all these crime-generating factors, and we generate attitudes from that. And those attitudes are, I get mine. Fuck the white man's law. They design stuff.
Yeah.
They had a Kerner report in the 1960s that said we are a society divided. They knew this. They know this shit. They know this. And we sitting here and we not doing nothing. I'm not saying we're not doing nothing. My thing is, when you see a community, 75% of the prison system coming from 7 neighborhoods, something wrong. When 75% of the prison system coming from 7 neighborhoods in New York City, something's wrong. When 85% of the prison system is black and Latino, something's wrong. This is designed to attack against us. And them brothers in Attica died for that. They died for that. So let's remember them brothers today, because today was the massacre.
That's
today
right.
They went in there and killed all them brothers. And they killed most of them after they took over the jail. Get that. They identified leadership and killed them. So let's get this crime bill, but more than anything else, let's start mobilizing our votes, our
Yeah.
formerly incarcerated votes.
That's right.
Let's develop
That's
an
right.
alliance. Let's develop, they got Democratic, let's have a formerly incarcerated party. And let us get us right.
Yeah.
Resurrection. Richard Jackson, ladies and gentlemen, give him a hand.
Thank you for bearing the sun, being out here with us. I really appreciate it. But as much as we're going through, no matter what hardships we face today, guarantee us nothing compared to those who are suffering inside these cages. Thank you for your support and for coming out today. I say this person for the last because I love her so much, and I will always save the best for last. So we're going to call on Alice Fontier to give us our last remarks. Hi, Alice.
I'll be quick, because you know, and you've already heard, that our system is racist. Our sentencing laws are meant to cage and destroy Black and brown families, and they've been working, and they've been doing it. And I don't need to explain that to you, but I do want to say a couple of things, because one of them is that words matter. And the words that you're hearing from our politicians deeply matter. Assemblymember Gibbs is your constituent. You're not allowed to move to the Bronx. I just want to say that out loud first. Now, in 1993, Joe Biden said, "Predators on our streets." He warned about the predators on our streets who are beyond the pale and said that they must be cordoned off from the rest of society because the justice system did not know how to rehabilitate them. That's how we got this bill. In a recent speech, Mayor Eric Adams claimed that recidivists are driving crime, calling them the worst of the worst. Now, he's smart enough not to use the word predator, but if you replace predator with the worst of the worst, it's the exact same words. It's the exact same statement. And what he says is that our criminal justice system is insane. Now, I agree, but for very different reasons. And he also says it is dangerous, it's harmful, and it is destroying the fabric of our city. And what this mayor wants is to lock more people up and keep them there for longer. The same thing Joe Biden wanted in 1994. And those same words are echoing through the people in power. And now this fear-mongering that led to the disastrous 1994 crime bill, you hear it on repeat. It's driving the calls to go backward in this state. The scare tactics were not true in 94, and they are not true now. The myth of the super predator has been debunked 1,000 times. There are no worst of the worst. There is nobody that is beyond rehabilitation. There are people who most of society would rather not think about and would rather cage than support. But what is true is that the 94 crime bill and that tough on crime approach that it represented led to the mass incarceration of Black and brown people across this country. Billions of federal dollars were invested in building state prisons and funding the police to fill them as a result of that law. Now, New York put their hands in that dirty money pot. We are not innocent. New York is not progressive. We are not now, and we never have been a progressive state when it comes to policing and incarceration. Now, Mayor Adams talks about destroying the fabric of our city. The fabric of our city is us. It is our people, it is our families, and it is our communities. And when you destroy a community, you destroy the fabric of this city. Over policing, over prosecution, and over incarceration has been destroying that fabric for generations. We've made some incremental gains in the criminal justice reform over the last 3 years. Those reforms are working. And despite that, the mayor and state Republicans would love to see us return to the approach that failed so spectacularly in 1994. but we must learn from our history. The time to support communities and build up the services that provide strength and safety is now. We must make the changes that end the broken policies of the past. We must reform our sentencing policies this year. End mass incarceration in New York. Communities, not cages. Communities, not cages. Communities, not cages.
It's Alice Fontier, everyone. Let's give her a hand. So, folks, just bear with me one moment. One of our sponsors on the Second Look Act, Latrice Walker, she wanted to be here today, but her mother was ill, so she couldn't be here with us today. But she did send in a statement that I would like to read, so maybe I'll have your attention for just a moment. This is from Assemblymember Latrice Walker. I stand committed to pass 3 bills Can't fight for freedom if you can't find it. I stand committed to pass the 3 bills of the Communities Not Cages Coalition, and in particular, the bill I introduced, the Second Look Act. Today, we say rest in peace to the 94 crime bill, and if you know Latrice, she would have said it like this. Today, we say rest in peace to the 94 crime bill. Not the peace that communities are encouraging through these bills. No, we mean rest in pieces or leave in pieces. Now that's Latrice for real. Okay. Or leave in pieces. We send the crime bill back to the pits of hell from whence it came. Okay. All over New York, I have people expressing support for these bills so that these noose of criminal justice systems is removed from their head, or so that the need of prison to be removed from their neck. Today we liberate. Today we agitate. Today we legislate. If not, tomorrow we will litigate. Latrice Walker. So I want to thank all of you coming out. And before I leave, I just want to ask, let's see, Nancy, Florence, Edith, and Miss V, please come forward. Please come forward. Part of our service, part of our service today is to lay flowers on the pictures of our loved ones, and we have flowers left. So I want you to just please put the rest of the flowers on a family picture. Today, we're here to celebrate the launch of our campaign to make sure that the Communities Not Cages campaign goes through and we change these laws. But most importantly, we're here to honor the memory of those who have suffered from the 1994 crime bill as we put it to rest, lay it to rest once and for all, ashes to ashes, dust to dust, y'all. This is it. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for coming out.